Welcome to another episode of Diary of a Fit Girl. I'm absolutely thrilled to be diving into today's topic because it's all about something that makes life truly special: the power of connection, building meaningful relationships. You know, in this fast paced world where we're constantly being bombarded with notifications and distractions, it's so easy to forget the true essence of what makes us human: our connection with others. We all crave that deep sense of belonging, of being understood and appreciated for who we truly are. And that's exactly what we'll be exploring today. So let's hit pause on the outside noise for a moment, shall we? This episode is your well deserved oasis, your reminder that human connections are not just nice to have, they're essential for our happiness and well being. Picture this: a warm cup of coffee or a cup of tea, whatever your favorite beverage is, your favorite cozy spot, and the soothing sound of our voices as we embark on this journey together. Now, you might be thinking, why is this topic so important? Well, my dear friends, research has shown time and time again that meaningful relationships do wonders for our minds, bodies, and souls. Did you know that when we connect with others, our brains release the magical bonding hormone called oxytocin? It's like an instant happiness boost, creating a bond between us and those we care about. And trust me, there's plenty more where that came from. If we don't have connections with other people, we don't have physical communication or contact with other people, we don't have the release of oxytocins, and that's why people who are lonely or don't have anyone to talk to, that's why they fall into depression or in such a low state. So you can see why it's incredibly important to have oxytocin. But wait, it's not just about any connections. We're talking about the real deal: authentic, soul nourishing connections. We'll be exploring what it means to build genuine relationships, how to communicate openly and honestly, and why vulnerability is not a weakness, but a superpower. You see, it's not just about having 1,000 friends or followers online. It's about finding those special souls who truly understand us, who see the beauty in our imperfections, and who walk alongside us through the ups and downs of life. So, let's leave behind the surface level chit chat and embrace the beauty of meaningful relationships. Are you with me? Good. Sometimes it's like magic when we click with someone instantly, right? But fear not, my curious souls. There's actually some pretty fascinating science behind that warm, fuzzy feeling of connection that feels familiar to us when we meet someone new, in quotation marks. When we connect with others on a deep level, our brains do a happy dance. It's like a love party up in there, you know why? You know why? Because that magical hormone called oxytocin is flooding your brainwaves. Oxytocin is the ultimate bonding hormone. It's like the secret sauce that makes our connections even more meaningful. When we hug, when we laugh together, or even when we share a heartfelt moment, oxytocin is released, creating a beautiful bond between us and our loved ones. But wait, there's more. Science has shown that these connections go beyond just feeling warm and fuzzy. They're actually good for our health too. Can you believe it? Research has found that people with strong social connections tend to have lower stress levels. That's right. When we're surrounded by a supportive tribe, it's like stress takes a vacation and we're left with more zen in our lives. And here's another mind blowing fact: meaningful relationships can even boost our immune system. So, the next time you're snuggled up with your bestie or sharing a belly laugh with your partner, know that you're also giving your immune system a high five. There's a health fact you didn't know. So let's not just focus on the science, let's talk about the magic too. It's that spark, that intangible connection that makes us feel seen and heard. It's like finding a piece of yourself in someone else's soul. To be honest, that's my favourite feeling in the entire universe, as rare as it can be. And here's the thing: it's not about the number of friends you have, It's about the quality of those connections. So, treasure those deep bonds, my friends. They're like the gold in the treasure chest of life. In a world of filters and facades, authenticity is like a breath of fresh air. It's like the soul to soul connection where we can let down our guard and just be our authentic selves. And guess what? Building authentic connections is like finding a rare gem, a treasure that's worth every bit of effort. It all starts with the power of vulnerability. I know, vulnerability is so scary, especially in the kind of generations we are currently living in. But it's like standing on a stage naked, I guess. But hey, it's also the key to unlocking those genuine bonds. How do you expect to allow people into your lives when you are locking yourself in your human shell that you could consider to be a doomsday shelter, so to speak? Think about it. When we open up, share our feelings, our dreams, and our quirky obsessions, it's like we're inviting others to do the same. It's a beautiful dance of trust and understanding, where we see the beauty in each other's perfections. But wait, there's more to it. Authentic connections also thrive on active listening. You know, it's not just about waiting for our turn to speak, but truly absorbing what the other person is saying. It's like giving them a front row seat to our heart and soul. And speaking of souls, have you ever had those conversations that go beyond the surface, where you feel like you're peering into the depths of another person's essence? Those are the moments when authenticity shines like a beacon. And here's a pro tip for building authentic connections. Embrace the art of asking meaningful questions instead of the usual, how's the weather? How was your weekend? How's your day? Dig a little deeper. Ask about their dreams, their passions, and what makes their heart skip a beat. Building authentic connections craving a, is like creating a masterpiece. It takes time, effort, and a whole lot of heart. But when we put in the work, the rewards are truly extraordinary. Now, I get it. Sometimes it's not easy to open up. We've all had those moments when we'd rather hide under the covers than share our vulnerabilities. But let me tell you a little secret. Authenticity is magic. When we embrace our true selves, flaws and all, it's like a magnet that attracts the right people into our lives. Those people see us for who we are and love us all the more for it. So let's ditch the masks, my fellow adventurers, and let our authentic selves shine through. Let's embrace vulnerability, active listening, and those heart to heart conversations we all truly desire. You know, Communication is like the heartbeat of our relationships. It's the language of connections, the magic wand that we wave to understand and be understood. But here's the catch: communication isn't just about talking, it's about truly connecting. So let's break it down. Effective communication is like a dance, a rhythm of words, gestures, and emotions that flow between us and our fellow dancers. It's not just about expressing ourselves, but also about actively listening to the other person's moves. Picture this: you're having a conversation with a friend, and they're pouring their hearts out to you. Instead of waiting for your turn to speak, you're fully present in the moment. You're nodding, offering a listening ear, and showing genuine interest. That, my friends, is the art of active listening. Just as I spoke that to you guys, I had this vision, this image in my mind of Tony Robbins because I've seen him do that so much. And he is literally an expert in communication, whether that's non-verbal, verbal, visual. But yeah, just a random thought for you guys. And let's not forget the power of empathy. It's like stepping into someone else's shoes and feeling what they're feeling. When we communicate with empathy, It's like we're saying, hey, I see you and I'm right here with you. So, as I mentioned before, unspoken words are just as important as spoken words. The non-verbal cues that speak volumes. It's like our body language is having its own secret conversation. From eye contact to facial expressions, these little gestures can reveal a lot about how we truly feel. But here's the challenge. In this age of screens and emojis, it's easy to lose touch with the art of face to face communication, which many of us have, because the online world is so complicated now. Face to face world is a little bit harder because we're not used to it. That's me saying that as I'm literally a 69% extrovert. So let's make a pact, shall we? The next time we're with a friend or a loved one, let's put our phones down and engage in the lost art of eye to eye and heart to heart connection. This is something that I'm saying from a very personal experience because when I'm with people, I don't go on my phone. I make sure of it. And I absolutely despise how when I'm spending time with family, they go on their phones or they're just staring mindlessly at the TV when I want to have a true heart to heart conversation. They're scrolling away on their phones, which doesn't bode well for any of us. So definitely put down your phones when you're spending time with your loved ones. It could do wonders. Now, I must admit, communication isn't always smooth sailing. There are rough waters, misunderstandings, and sometimes our words might not come out as we intended. But fear not, my fellow sailors, it's all a part of the journey. When we stumble in our communication, it's an opportunity to learn and grow together. We can clarify, apologize, and show that we truly care about getting it right. And here's a pro tip for building strong communication through communication. Express appreciation and gratitude. It's like sprinkling a little bit of magic dust on our conversations. A simple thank you or I appreciate you can go a long way in making someone feel valued and cherished. Building meaningful relationships isn't always smooth sailing. Life throws us some curveballs, and sometimes we face obstacles that test our connection building superpowers. But fear not, my resilient souls. Where there's a will, there is a way. So let's talk about the fear of vulnerability that most of us have, or even all of us. The heart fluttering mix of courage and uncertainty. It's like standing at the edge of a diving board, wondering if you'll take the plunge or not. But here's the thing, vulnerability is the key that unlocks the door to deeper connections. It's like an invitation to step into each other's worlds and create a bond that's unbreakable. So, be brave. Let's share our stories, our hopes, and even our fears, because it's in those moments of vulnerability that we find strength, support, and a connection that runs soul deep. It's like a little voice in our heads whispering, what if they let me down? And here's a little secret, trust is like a bridge that we build together. When we show up for each other, when we keep our promises, and when they're through thick and thin, that bridge becomes stronger with each step we take. So let's take a leap of faith and build that trust one step at a time. And let's not forget about the past. Sometimes our previous experiences can cast a shadow on our present connections. We might fear repeating old patterns or getting hurt again. But remember, our past doesn't define our future. It's a stepping stone, a lesson that helps us grow stronger and wiser. So let's use those experiences as a compass, guiding us towards healthier, more meaningful connections. Now, here's a powerful tool for overcoming barriers to connection, empathy and understanding. When we take the time to truly listen to each other's stories, to put ourselves in their shoes, it's like dissolving those barriers, one heartfelt conversation at a time. And guess what? We all have different communication styles. Some of us might be more expressive, while others prefer a softer approach. Let's honor those differences. It's like a beautiful symphony of connections, with each instrument playing a unique melody. You know, connections are like beautiful flowers that need care and attention to bloom and thrive. As we journey through life, our relationships need nurturing, just like a garden needs watering and tending to. First things first, let's talk about quality time. In this fast paced world, time can feel like a precious commodity. But let me tell you something, it's not about the quantity of time, but the quality. Think about it. Those heartfelt conversations, the shared laughter, and even the quiet moments of being together, those are the moments that weave the threads of connections. So let's put away the distractions and savor those moments like delicious desserts. And here's a pro tip for nurturing relationships: celebrate the small stuff. It's like sprinkling little bursts of joy throughout your connections. Celebrate birthdays, achievements, and even just random Tuesdays. But life is full of little moments worth celebrating. So let's be there for our loved ones through the highs and lows, the triumphs and challenges. It's in these moments of support our connections grow deeper, stronger, and more resilient. And let's not forget about the power of shared experiences, whether it's traveling together, tackling a new project, or simply enjoying a meal. These shared moments create lasting memories that enrich our connections. It's like we're weaving a tapestry of connection, and each shared experience is like a vibrant thread that adds a unique touch to our relationships. Now, I know life can get busy, and we might drift apart from our loved ones from time to time, but here's the beauty of nurturing connections: it's never too late to reach out, to show you care, and to reignite the spark of connection. So let's make time for the people who matter to us. Let's be intentional in our actions, whether it's a heartfelt message, a surprise visit, or even a simple hug. Connections are like the colourful threads that weave the tapestry of our lives. They add depth, meaning, and a whole lot of magic to our journey. First and foremost, meaningful relationships give us a sense of belonging. It's like finding that safe harbor, that place where we can be true to ourselves without judgment or pretense. When we feel a sense of belonging, it's like a warm blanket wrapped around our souls. And here's the power of connection on our mental health. And here's the power of connection on our mental health. They're like they're like the they're like the sunshine after a storm. When we face challenges, it's our support system that lifts us up and helps us weather through the tough times. Studies have shown that those with strong connections have lower levels of anxiety and depression. It's like having an army of love and support ready to fight alongside you whenever life gets tough. But wait, there's more. Meaningful relationships even impact our physical health. That's right. When we're surrounded by a tribe that makes us feel loved and cherished, our bodies respond with better immune functions, lower stress levels, and even a longer lifespan. And those happy hormones we talked about earlier, oxytocin and all its magical friends, well, meaningful, meaningful relationships are the key to unlocking the treasure trove. When we connect with others, though these hormones flood our system, making us feel like we're on top of the world. But beyond the scientific evidence, it's the stories that truly tug at our heartstrings. You see, meaningful relationships have the power to change lives, to, to transform dreams into reality and struggle into triumphs. They're like the fuel that ignites our passions, that pushes us to take risks, and that celebrate our victories. In those dark moments, they're the light that guides us through the storms. So, let's take a moment to appreciate the people who have touched our lives, who have left their footprints on our heart, whether it's a lifelong friend, a partner, a family member, or even a soul we've just met. Each connection has left its mark, its beautiful, magical, unique mark. Remember, my friends, the power of connection is not limited to this episode. It's a lifelong journey of growth, love, and shared experiences. So let's continue dancing to the rhythm of authentic conversations and savoring every magical moment. Thank you for joining me on this adventure, for sharing your stories, and for being a part of this incredible journey of connection. And I can't wait to continue exploring life's wonders together. Until next time, keep nurturing those meaningful relationships, keep celebrating the beauty of human connection, and keep shining your light into the world. With much love and gratitude, this is Rara signing off. Ciao, ciao.